What's up everyone, it's back with Pokemon Master 2456, and today we're going to be doing a review on the Game Boy player for the Gamecube. So, I have the installation disc here. I'm going to turn my Gamecube on, basically start it up and review some of the features. But first, I want to show you what the player looks like. So hold on just real quick. I'm back everyone, so here as you can see, we have the Game Boy player logo, we have another similar core port for the wireless adapter, because basically this is technically a Game Boy. We have the cartridge slot for holding Game Boy Color games, and regular Game Boy, and advanced games. Then we have, I'm going to plug my memory card. Then we have the back side that basically just says Game Boy player, and it plugs into the high-speed internet port. So, let's plug this in, and then we can get to showing you guys. I'm back everyone again. So here's what the Game Boy player disc looks like. Now, normally they sell the Game Boy players, just the regular ones. The USA only got black, but countries like Japan, the UK, Korea got more colors ranging from red, purple, they got matching colors. We got black. So basically the hardest thing to find, because the Game Boy player itself, the system plug-in itself is only $5, but the disc can range anywhere from maybe your cheapest, maybe $10 to $300. I was actually lucky to get this for $50. And yes, you may be thinking, oh, that's a lot for such a ancient, I guess you could say, disc now in 2016. But there's minimal scratches at the USA version. So, I'm going to turn it on and show you guys the hardware. So basically guys, this would be the loading screen. It would say Game Boy Player Chud 3 Nintendo. This is the software. Now, unlike the Super Game Boy, which I think could plug into either the NES, SNES, or Nintendo 64, I haven't looked it up right now. This actually requires hardware, which is the disc, surprisingly, because it can run all three types of games. And this is kind of related to the Daytel Game Boy Advance connector that can only play Game Boy Advance games. But this is the normal loading screen. I'm going to show you guys the advanced loading screen. Hold up. Okay. So, I'm going to pause the video real quick, and then I'll come back and let the plug the game in. So everyone will be testing Pokemon Red as a Game Boy game, Pokemon Color as a Game Boy Color game, and yes, there are certain games, such as there was one sun detection game built into the Game Boy Advance SP that you can't use. You can't use Game Boy Advance video since, you know, a GameCube, you plug it to a VCR or a DVD recorder. So, and then we also have Pokemon Pinball as a GBA game, Game Boy Advance. And we can use my controller to play, or we can use my Game Boy Advance SP plugged into the adapter to play. So I'm going to turn this on real quick. Oh, jeez. First I wanted to test Red, so I'll be back in a minute. So guys, I'm back, and I plugged Red in, so I need to load this up. Let me fix this lighting issue. So guys, I'm back. And as you can see, Pokemon Red loaded for the Game Boy. Now, let me get my controller accessible. You have like many options. And then we'll just show you a quick preview of the game. I'll show you all the different frame versions. So we have a blue frame. We have a orange frame. Black, yellow, gray, army, checker like illusion style, picnic, flowers, kind of like a Chinese Korean like dragon, I guess you could say, wood, ancient, like it looks kind of like Aztec Gamecube symbols, metal. My favorite like kind of looks like Tetris. Reminds me of, I like this one the most. We have multicolor, I like a flag. We have blue. We have another style. We have some planets. We have blue, and basically just repeats itself. Now we have two screen sizes. We have full, normal, full up for full. We have two controller layouts. L and R are the top two buttons. And select, it's the left down two. We have another setup too. I like the other first setup. Then we have a screen filter soft, normal or sharp. I like sharp the most. Basically, also had a timer. I could see using this for two things. You trying to get a high score and beat a previous time, or this was also used maybe back in 2003 when, you know, kids didn't exactly have TVs in their whole room. They had TVs in their one house. So parents could monitor like their playtime, put like 60 minutes, and it would stop the game for a brief moment and make an alarm sound. And I'll show you guys the last feature so I want to show you guys that it does work. Now you must have the disc to be able to load this. You can plug this in, you can try start all you want, but it will not start without the disc. So I don't know where I am. I restarted the game, so I haven't even got like my Pokemon yet. But basically, this does work normally like this. Playing Pokemon Red. Let me save this game. And you can save using the player. So it's basically, I got my SP for $48. I spent $44 on the disc, plus an extra $5 on the player. So let me save that again, I don't think it's saved. So in total I spent, plus tax I spent $49 to around $50. So technically you're kind of buying another Game Boy Advance SP with this. But just pretty much there's some background features, sharper quality, better audio, and you play it on a larger screen. So now you guys are probably wondering, what if I have to switch the screen or switch the game? I don't want to have to turn the whole thing off. Now this feature doesn't always work, but they have a game pack change feature. So then this, you would slide your finger down here. Sorry about the lower picture quality, I had to adjust my blinds. So you would slide your finger down here, press that button. And next, I'm going to load Pokemon Pinball for the tighter fit. So I'm going to pause the video real quick. So as you guys can see, Pokemon Pinball loaded. The rumble feature has to be turned off to play. I'll play red. And also, if you wanted to, you can play using your Game Boy Advance SP. It'll load saying Game Boy Player. And basically. And you can play it, all original games. Jesus, stuff like this. basically just playing all the games with your Game Boy Advance SP, which feels better than playing with an actual original controller, because you know the controls, and it's easier to grab onto than using original Gamecube controller. But this would definitely be good for older Pokemon Nuzlocke and stuff, which I might try and do on my channel. So, I am making an update video, guys. If you guys help me get to 50 subscribers, I will also have something new that I will start. So, we have one last thing to show. Let me pause. Wait, actually, I'll just show you guys the way I eject the game. And so, if we see if I push. There we go. And we have one less game to try. Pokemon Pinball. Ruby and Sapphire. So I'll pause the video real quick. So I have two last things to show you guys once I load the same. I'm gonna show you what it does when you put an advanced video in, and then I'll do my overall review. Why is this not loading? Okay. Let me try that again, guys. And yes, it does have volume, I just have my volume turned down really low. Dang. I got bit by like tons of mosquitoes. Jesus. So here it is. Well, the game just, jeez. Okay guys, I'm gonna go fix this issue and then I'll be back. So guys, I think it finally loaded right. I was trying to find a security bit screw, because Nintendo had to make it with bit screws, which are super hard, not like normal 3DS or DS one where you could just get a box cutter, cut it open and clean the cartridge. So I had to do the old trick, you know, everyone born back in like, I was born in 2003, but everyone born back in like 1999, around when the Nintendo 64 was out, knows the struggle of having to blow those cartridges. And still with the Game Boy, jeez. So I blew in the cartridge for a while and it finally started working. I'll play Sapphire. I'm gonna play Sapphire. The game has to be difficult. Yes, normal. I prefer this one better as like a Pokemon pinball game. I'm trying to do this with one hand while recording. Yeah, they keep failing. Oh my. Let me just use the original control. So basically, it does work for all games. I might try and get Mario Super Circuit, which for the Game Boy Advance, and try and like play that, because that'll be something good to play. 2, or possibly Pokemon Crystal would be good too. So basically, that is the review. I have one more thing to show you guys. So once I grab it, I'll come. So, as you guys can see, I have a Game Boy Advance video, Pokemon, a Hot Water Battle, and for Ho-Ho, the Bell's Toll. So, I'm gonna load this and show you what, guys, the error message, if it'll even fit. Do these even fit? Hold on, guys. Way back. I loaded it and started up the screen again. So here's what the error message looks like. It'll try and read it, but then it'll realize. Because, I mean, there's no game files or, like, DSR files on this. There's only image and video files. It'll say either not compatible with the Game Boy player, and give you, like, a nice error message, or it'll give you a really scary error message sometimes when you say you're going to switch it. and sometimes it'll also flip out. Oh, hold up real quick, guys. Okay, I'm back. I'm back, guys. So here's what the error message looks like. Well, sometimes it'll also come up with another error message, and it'll say, please restart the console, or reset, or power down. So basically, this right here is the Game Boy player. Now, you can also use the wireless to plug it into. This will cover up the bottom of your Gamecube. So, there actually, I don't think there is. Yes, if you have like a broadband adapter, well, they don't work anymore unless you're using it for LAN, like local area network parties of like up to 8 people having 2 consoles playing Mario Kart. It still works for LAN, just not for internet. But basically, this will cover up your broadband port, your 2 modem ports, because it's super large and takes up the whole bottom, and it kind of adds to like a nice feel to the. This is the last item ever made for the GameCube, and it kind of just completes the GameCube feel. It makes it feel way better. So I'm also gonna try and paint this a more indigo, purple, blue color to match, because I have the indigo GameCube, which most people refer to as the original, and there were actually 2 versions of GameCubes made. There was one made with the one significant difference. Mine has the digital AV port too. The newer models were released like a year or 2 later and didn't have that because no one really had a use for the digital AV ports. So I have an older one. Still works the same way though. So I'd say overall this is a great system add-on. If you're really looking something big, like let's say you have like a big 60-inch to 70-inch TV and you want to play like older games such as like, let's just say Pokemon Crystal or Pokemon Leaf Green, Fire Red, on a really large screen, this is a great add-on, even now in 2016. I do recommend grabbing yourself, if you want to spend maybe an extra $40, possibly $30 on a Game Boy Advance or SP, it'll feel like a better controller. And also, if you get like an Advanced SP like me, I'd say spend maybe about $5 on a connector like this, and so that'll work really well. Now you're going to need the system hardware, which is the main thing that most people already know everything about it. It's just the system hardware. Now this, I can put some links below to eBay. If you guys are looking to buy it, you can put some. I can put some links below to eBay for a Game Boy player for cheap, or the disc. Now I found the player at my local video game store, but the disc I bought online. So it's a pretty nifty disc. It's Game Boy Player Startup Disc, DO6 USA. This one can only be used in the USA, Canada, Mexico, and Latin America. And there's not very many scratches on it. So definitely spend the extra money getting this if you have tons of Game Boy or overall just SP or color games and you really want to play them on the bigger screen. The highest. Don't spend anywhere over $60 on the disc, because it wouldn't be worth it like that. But overall, as you guys can see, it does work well. And until I turn this off, it'll always say Game Boy Player on your Advanced SP. So guys, don't forget to hit that like button, comment below, watch the video, and help me get to 50 subscribers, and we'll do something new. I'm also creating an update video, which I'll tell you guys some more about later today, in the next video. So until next time, oh, I forgot my outro. Until next time, keep catching them all. Bye, guys.